As you can see from the problem statements that Coby just outlined, all of them revolve around the issue of homelessness. Because of this, we decided to use a public data set that is a point-in-time homelessness count, and it has a variety of different fields and counts for us to use. To start, we began by pulling the specific fields that we wanted to base our predictions off of, which are the 9 listed here. We then ran 2 queries to create our training and prediction data sets. After we had created these 2 data sets, we then ran another query to create our linear regression model, which allows us to predict the overall homeless count for specific scenarios. Off of this model, we ran all of our specific predictions and analysis. For our first prediction, we went very specific and analyzed the overall homeless count for a specific continuum of care center in Indianapolis. As you can observe from both the predicted and actual counts between the years 2012 and 2018, there's been little variation and no clear reduction in the overall homeless amount. So while it is a positive that the homelessness count is not increasing, based off of this data, we should determine why it is not decreasing and what changes could be made to encourage this count to fall. For our next query, we took a look at the continuum of care centers that had the highest overall counts of homeless people in the year 2018 by listing the overall homeless field in descending order. As you can observe from the table and graph, as well as the predicted and actual data, these 10 COCs have the greatest amount of homelessness in the nation. And from this information, we are able to observe that the top 10 are all located in some of the biggest cities in the nation, demonstrating a clear correlation. Because of this, we took a closer look at these large cities and potential solutions to help target these regions to provide them with additional aid. Lastly, we took a look at the opposite, or the cities with the smallest overall homeless count, this time by listing the field in ascending order. Once again, the predicted and actual data were consistent with one another and revealed the top 10 cities with the least amount of homelessness, clearly a lot less than the cities on the previous slides. Because of this clear contrast, we further examined the difference in action between these cities and were able to recognize the drastic variation in both their problems and solutions.
As we see from our first analysis, the overall homeless count has been consistent over a long period, and strides need to be made to decrease this count. Such an initiative that can be undertaken is rapid rehousing, which provides short-term rental assistance and services. The goals are to help people obtain housing quickly, increase self-sufficiency, and stay housed. And it is offered without preconditions such as employment or income. And the resources and services provided are tailored to the needs of the person. And research has shown that this is a more effective way to reduce homelessness in the long run and is less expensive. As seen in our second analysis, homelessness is on the rise in the big cities, and this is because wealth concentrates in these urban centers, thereby increasing rent and reducing affordable housing. States can copy Utah's successful initiative, Housing First, which helped reduce homelessness by 70%. The central idea is to give people shelter first, then focus on drug abuse and mental disorders or other personal issues. Tenants pay $50 a month or 30% of their income and receive medical support that they cannot often afford. California, as seen from our graphs, has the biggest homelessness count and needs to direct funds to create more sustainable housing for the homeless and focus on prevention, help people keep their houses. Rapid rehousing is something to definitely consider. Our third analysis shows that small towns have less homelessness. For example, if we compared Garrett County's population of 29,000 to LA City and County's population of 3.9 million and compared their homelessness levels, it would support our previous analysis that big cities are centers for wealth concentration, which reduces affordable housing. Our concluding recommendation is that states and cities need to focus on finding immediate housing for the homeless before focusing on larger issues such as addiction and mental health. Funds need to be focused on finding affordable and sustainable housing, as well as medical support to help individuals regain control of their lives and regain their footing.
I think that being fearless has helped us a lot in this class. I know for me and for a lot of other people, the technology and the stuff we've used can be difficult and confusing at times. And at times you may want to give up, but I think being fearless, having that fearless mindset and just going at it, you can actually surprise yourself in what you can really do. And that kind of leads into something I'm sure we've all heard of, the growth mindset. Whereas you may not know something yet, but if you have that fearless mindset and you just keep working at it and just keep getting help from your fellow classmates, the professor, you can get through it and you can, again, surprise yourself with what you can do. And one quote I always like sharing from high school is get comfortable being uncomfortable. Like Professor A said, just threw us into the deep end And instead of panicking, you just got to be comfortable and be fearless, and then you'll work your way back up.